Hey guys, this is Jock of bashandslash.com. We're on Arctic region today in my favorite numbered tank. That's the T69. This is the American Autoloader Tier VIII tank. It's on its way to the T57, as I said, medium tank. Autoloader, 4 shots in the clip. Kind of low for this particular gun, the 90mm gun, the 178. 7 to 9 roughly rounds per minute. Kind of low, kind of weak penetration on this top gun, 173 millimeters. That's kind of lowish for the armor piercing round. For heat, though, this is the 4,000 silver per round heat round, the 300 millimeters. That's 173 to 300 millimeters when you start, using silver to buy these premium heat rounds. Well worth them. I'm using them right now. I think I've loaded a few here, and I'm going to use them right off the bat because our team isn't that good, and we're going up against a much better team. So I decided to bolster the resources down here, down south, and see if I can do some damage with the 300 millimeter pen heat rounds. 240, 240, and 320 for damage. 320 being the HE rounds, but 240 damage for both the standard armor piercing and the heat. 0.38 for accuracy, not bad. I mean, I don't try to do a lot of sniping on this tank, but it can be used for medium sort of sniping. 400 meter view range really comes in handy. Right now on this particular tank, we've maxed out the tank, got all the modules, etc. What we have on the equipment side, vertical stabs and vents. Considering optics or the enhanced gun laying drive, if I go to the gun laying drive, I'm thinking of taking the vents out and possibly replacing that with optics, simply because I just want to enhance the positives on the tank. 400 meters is a decent view range, and if I crank it up even higher, even better. The armor, great turret, not so good hull, so you want to be hull down. 101 millimeter, 76, 38, that's the front side and rear. 38, really woeful from the back. 152, 76, and a whopping 114 for the turret. So you want to definitely try to hull down if possible. But you know what? Even given those numbers, okay, it's a fairly fragile tank. You got to be very, very careful. What you want to do with this particular tank, specifically because you only have 4 rounds in a clip. This is not like the T71, which preceded it. T71 is a hellacious tank for its tier. This tank, not as good as the T71 in my opinion. It's slow, like I said, doesn't have that kind of punchiness that the T71 has, and it's okay armor, but you definitely don't want any heavy state or anything like that. I like it more than the AMX 1390, which is the French sort of equivalent for this particular tank. I like this one more just because it's a little bit less fragile. It's got a little bit more oomph in the armor. In this particular game, we were, as I said, kind of weak south, so I kind of camped out a bit, came south to try to help out the tanks that had gone down into this heavy tank canyon here. And I made one mistake. Well, probably making a couple of mistakes in this particular map. Not playing my best, and really one of the reasons I want to show this map is even if you play this tank badly, the speed, the mobility, the agility, and this 4-round clip can get you, can take situations where you're just sort of buggered and turn them into positives. And here, what I did wrong is, I'm a medium tank, and what I should have been doing is not allowing those 2 tanks, the Cromwell and the T20, to rape our one lone arty. I was lucky to get the T50 that was coming after me. The T20 escapes, the Cromwell dies at my hands, but I should never have let those tanks come through. And it's simply a mistake on my part, because what I was just trying to do too much. I was trying to help out the IS-6 and the AT-7. I saw initially in the during the beginning parts of the deployment phase, I didn't see enough tanks going down south, and that's why I stayed. And I thought, hey, why not help the guys out? Loaded, the expensive heat rounds to try to do that job, heavy killer, but didn't work out initially. And now that I'm doing what this tank does best, which is get on the asses of tanks, I knocked out the T20 and IS fairly rapidly, and I still had the one shell in the clip, and now I'm just reloading the whole clip completely, just trying to get 4 back. So I'm just going to sit here and hide. What I'm worried about is that the Hummel has me in its sights. There's an Indian and a Panzer and a M4 way up north, and I'm trying to tell these guys that there is, the guys that are left anyway, that there these 2 tanks way up north. The Indian more than likely could easily spot me, and then the Hummel rain death on me. IS-6 doesn't seem to understand this, or if it's doing what it's doing is it's just being very aggressive. Not sure. I mean, it's a pretty gutsy move and very aggressive, and I owe the IS-6 one, I guess, but I don't think I'm just going to just poke my head out and get it taken off by the Hummel. Fortunately, the IS-6, brave IS-6 there, spots the M4, and here's that 4-round clip coming to help. Again, now I'm firing standard ammo. Took 3 shells, even with a kind of low HP M4, and took it out. What we're left with is the Indian Panzer. I'm just gonna sit here for a second to reload, and hopefully, I can let. I was obviously lit there for a few seconds, and I just now hopefully no longer lit, and I can get out in the open. And this time I'm actually going to try to follow this poor IS-6, try to help him out so that he's not the one lonely target for the Hummel. I'm assuming that the Indian Panzer is trying to spot. That's what I assume here. The AT-7 also wide and totally in the kill zone going towards cap. Not sure what it's doing. If the Hummel were up in, I don't know, G4 or whatever, or possibly in K3 or whatever, or even on the hill at H1, would have seen it by now and possibly have incinerated it. I'm going to go as wide as I possibly can so that the Indian Panzer doesn't spot me. The IS-6 certainly hasn't rustled anything up, so I'm feeling kind of confident at the moment. Not playing the greatest game, as I said, but here the purpose of showing the video was that, even with all the mistakes that I'm making, this is such an agile tank, such a flexible tank, and if used correctly, a powerful tank. And as I said, in spite of the errors, you can make up for them in this particular tank, which is really kind of cool. The nifty thing about this is that the IS-6 is not spotting the Indian, so I'm just going to see if I can go up mid and maybe get on the Indian's ass, because again, I'm going to go play to the strengths of this tank. I've been trying to keep the HP up on the tank in this particular map. It's not the best map for the 69, simply because it's very difficult to flank in this particular map. There's 3 sort of ways into the cap, and all of them are very narrow, but very fortunate here. I'm right on the Hummel's butt.
Penetration.
Put 2 in the Hummel, still have 2 left. I'm not going to reload at the moment because I need to get into the Indian Panzer and see what damage I can do. He's down on 367, but the AT is getting beat up. AT-7 is getting beat up by the Indian, and I'm just gonna see if I can take a bit more bites out of the Indian. I've already got Top Gun on here. I'm gonna take 269 out. It's got 98 left. AT-7's got 1 more shot, hopefully, to take this guy out. If it can do it, it does. And that's the game. Hope you enjoyed it, guys. T69, good tank, not a great tank. Take care.